What's up, everybody? This week live, I am your host, your co-host, DJ Anthony. You know, seriously, folks, I'm a real DJ. And our resident PhD scientist, Magnus, he's over there, right there. All right, he keeps it all real for us. And so, welcome to Wellness Week on Wellness Wednesdays. And don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification. Shameless, come on, you got to follow us, man. I'm desperate for people. All right, so Magnus, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. I thought of you today too because we're expecting a stupid freaking blizzard here in the New York City area. I want to smack something, and I'm just like, man, I wish I was in SoCal. I'm so sick of New Jersey. I'm Jersey to the death, son. I'm raised here, but it's bumming me out, man. This weather it really sucks, dude.
Yeah, no, it's so. I definitely understand where you're coming from. So for people that don't know about my background, I'm from Sweden originally and have been living there most of my life. And Sweden, as you know, Northern Europe, we definitely get the effect of different seasons and all that. Summers, I mean, it could be awesome, sunny. The sun is up like so many hours, but wintertime, man, it's tough. I think the darkness is probably the thing that affects me the most.
Yeah.
And
your
circadian cycle. You're saying it's cold, rainy, snowy, whatever. It takes its toll. And we're talking about this and we bring it up over and over. Seasonal depression is definitely something that exists. And you have to take it seriously. Like if you plan on a vacation and getting out of it, that you actually supplementing with your vitamin D, that you're eating correctly and things like that. So, of course, we're plugging in our health aspect of it too. But I think it's so important that you actually take it to heart and do something about it.
Right. Along those lines, let's talk about the topics today. Number one topic, how to get through literally and figuratively dark times in our life. Number two, how you sleep last night, how important sleep is, a good bed is, a good pillow. And number three, what is epigenetics? Hopefully we'll get to all three of them. Number one, okay, we kind of alluded to this here. Okay, so what are some tips that you could have? Because we've all been through dark times, whether a loss of a loved one, loss of a job, economic hard times, it can go on and on, right? We've all been through something very difficult. So I thought, what advice would I give someone or give my younger me to how I manage through dark times? So Magnus, what are some tips you would give the younger you or tips you would give someone on how to get through dark times? Take it away, Magnus.
So let's take a little bit back in the, I want to tell you the story on one of my toughest parts of life or anything like that. It was when my dad passed away. So during this time, not only first of all, my dad got the news that he had cancer, and then he was very down low. The only two persons that he told was his brother, my uncle, and me, because he was like, I don't want people to be worried about me, stress out, and things like that. So he wanted to keep it close at heart. But me carrying around that kind of secret for over 2 years before he kind of let people really know how bad it was, that was rough.
Yeah.
At the same time too, my mom got the news that she had cancer too. So now we have kind of two strikes against me. The third one was I was doing I was in graduate school, and my results on lab work and things like that were dog shit. So it just felt on my hole that I was in was just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And luckily work my PhD program started a little bit better. Things started to move a little bit with a little bit of a positive angle. My mom, they were really good at taking care of her cancer. They found it early. It wasn't a bad type of cancer. It was mostly a very uncommon one, but they were able to tackle that. My dad, on the other way, things did not pan out, the healthcare system did not do a great work on that, so it actually got worse. Uh, Unfortunately, he passed away. So that was rough. Like losing one's parent is it's rough. It doesn't matter if you're young, old, whatever. It's hard because you're always used to having them there, unconditional love. They take care of you. They look out for you. They want the best for you. And first of all, I would say since that just accepting that, what is your emotion? Like, you're allowed to be sad, you're allowed to cry, you're allowed to be angry, you're allowed to be upset. You need to go through all these phases and actually accept the situation you're in and accept your emotions. You see often that men usually get angry as a first of reaction. Women usually get sad. So you see kind of those things before you actually figuring out what is the real emotion. I did not get angry. I was pretty much like, I knew that I was sad, 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 sad. So how did I get out of kind of this kind of dark position in life? Luckily, I have a really good family and friends, and just having them around me, surrounding me, supporting me, and not trying to fix the problem or whatever you're supposed to be, just being there, talking with me when I wanted to talk, giving me a hug when I needed a hug, and taking me out for lunch or dinner when I wanted to be by myself, and say like, you just need to be around people that loves you. So if you're able to surround yourself with people that loves you and you love, I would say that is one of the best thing that you can do with this.
Yeah. Well, and again, sorry, for your loss. I know you and I spoke about that in the past, and
Thank you.
yeah, it's tough losing anyone that we love,
Yeah.
especially immediate family. And I think you hit the nail on the head, which is one of the two things I was going to say is how I got through or get through dark times is family and friends, which is essentially relationships. And if you don't have family and friends, then talking to a therapist, a rabbi, a priest, a nun, an imam, a coach, yeah. Without family and friends or relationships, you're not going to make it out. It's just, it has to. And again, you don't have to necessarily have a best friend or even someone super close to you, but if you have to talk to someone, whether it's professional, acquaintance, best friend, mother, father, cousin, sister, brother, nephew, somebody. If you don't have that cognitive therapy, because that's what cognitive therapy is, it's talk. Talk is so powerful, and
Yeah.
so I would say yes, relationships. And I just real quick. So for me, was how to get through a hard time is, and also accepting, like you said, accepting this is it. This is it. Like not trying to push it away, not trying to forget about it, not trying to not look. I think we do a disservice if we do that. And men typically do that. I think you have to cry. You have to be sad. You have to be angry. You have to, it's okay. You have to let yourself go through that to marginalize that or push it away or not look. No, you're not, it's going to be hard for you, for anybody.
Definitely.
So I said talk. I also said accept your emotions, sleep, nutrition, water, drink water, get outside, walk, laugh. I said to myself, not laugh at the situation, but take time to look at some old cartoons or funny
Yes.
movies. Because when you laugh, they say laughter is the best medicine, and it is true. As you know, Doc, you release endorphins. Your body will help. I'm not saying to go laugh on the day of the funeral, but laugh, as the weeks and months roll on. Take some time not only to cry, but to watch a funny movie. When you have the moment. Also, reading gets me through things. Whether it's reading a novel or reading a whatever, just reading the mind. Take yourself away. Volunteer at your church, your community center, wherever, because when you're in assistance of others, you forget about your pain and you see other people's pain, and that helps you, it helps them, it helps you, it helps them. It's reciprocal. You're helping each other. And then be easy on yourself, like you had alluded to. It's okay to be angry at God. It's okay to be angry at your family. It's okay to be angry at yourself. Don't be angry at yourself for being angry at yourself. And like you said, going through something, especially death, or it could be loss of a job, loss of, financial hardship. It could be, and sometimes I think, uh, if we lose a job or lose a friendship or go through financial hard times or a breakup in a weird way, sometimes that can be harder than death. There was a study I read about breakups, whether you break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife, in a weird way, that can be harder than death in some aspect, because death is final. It's over. There's
Yeah.
no, but when you break up with somebody, it's a weird type of twilight zone. It's like you're dead, but you're not dead, but and it's like you're in that weird limbo,
Yeah.
where death is final, boom, done, black and white, binary, ones and zeros. And I think our psyche can sometimes grasp that a little bit easier, as obviously death is harder than breaking up with a boyfriend or girlfriend. But psychologically, I don't know. I mean, there's studies that say it can sometimes not be. Breakups, divorces can be harder than death sometimes, they say. But I don't know. I'm just saying, how to get through those dark times. So that was interesting what you had said. I had that little list. Was there anything else that you wanted to add, how you got through the dark time of the loss of your dad? I mean, so you stay with family and friends, you talk to them, you gave yourself time, you accepted your emotions. What else would you say?
I would also say that, like, remember that you only have 100%. Like, you can't just keep on filling your glass of water or life or whatever you're supposed to call it. You can't just keep on putting things in. When something like this that is very emotional draining and that drains energy and everything like that, you have to adjust everything and kind of dial it down. I remember, like, a person that constantly been training, like, I dialed my training down. I really focused on the nutrition. I did not drink a single drop of alcohol or take any other kind of medication or things like that, because I wanted to really be, like, in the now, and also being able to deal with things, not pushing them away. I mean,
right,
because all these things are a slippery slope. Like, if you have some type of addiction or anything like that, a traumatic experience could set it off, like, really, really fast.
yep.
So I think it's like you have to be smart when it comes to these situations, and take care of yourself.
Right.
And that means sleep, like going outside and being maybe just in a park or something like that. Things like that always going to help our health to move along. And we need that. I wouldn't say, like, going out and doing a hard, like high intensity training or something like that. I would not recommend that.
Right.
Dial your training down, but be physically active. And like I did, like, I remember I had several, like me and a couple of friends, we were out walking, like taking hikes, like in a forest park and things like that, just because that calms us down, and we're walking next to one another and having a good conversation about life and moving forward and putting words onto feelings and things like that. So let the process move along, and be smart. Take care of yourself. You still have to take care of yourself.
Funny you mentioned that. So, right, I treated the dark moments and the loss of my loved ones in the past like that. I said, I'm in war right now, in my mind, my psyche, my physiologic body. I have to make sure I get 8 hours of sleep. I have to make sure I literally drink water. I have to hydrate, because the stress level. I cannot drink soda. I cannot drink beer. I cannot drink sweet drinks. No juice, no iced teas. Sugar will destroy the immune system on a good day. When you're stressed, this, right? And I said to myself, I have to treat this like I'm at war, like I'm doing a triathlon. I have to stay hydrated. I have to get the proper rest, because I'm so sad. I'm so distraught. I'm so devastated by this loss. I have to, it was almost like, and I've done a number of triathlons. Physiologically, that's what it felt like. As you know, when you lost your dad, the stress on you, it's just almost backbreaking. So you have to, I said to myself, I have to make sure I sleep. I have to concentrate on, eating broccoli, eating lean meat, salmon, staying away from I would tell people, if you think comfort food is going to help you, I'm going to eat ice cream and eat bonbons and eat chips and cake and bread and pasta and bread and pot, that will destroy it. it will destroy you on a good day. The sugar and all that stuff will make you feel good for 10 minutes. And then it's going to start to even destroy your nerves, your veins, your artery, your spleen, your liver, your lungs. It's going to destroy you. Stay away from the sweet stuff. That's not what you need when you're under duress and heartache. You need to have water. You need to have vegetables, fruits. You need sleep. You need connection with people. You know, you have to. Yeah, it's a lot, man. But what you don't and what you should not do is stay away from the beer, stay away from the alcohol, stay away from the drugs, stay away from the negative stuff. Don't go binge watching, stuff that's going to be bad for your mind. And no one's saying don't watch TV and stuff, but anyways, yeah. So all right, yeah. I mean, I hope that helps. I don't know. Before we go on to the other thing, which is kind of tied into this, sleep. Was there anything else that you wanted to add to how to get through a hard time?
Yeah, since I would ask our viewers if you like, you don't have to go into depth, but if you have like some kind of technique, plan,
Tip.
or idea, or you want to share something,
right?
Please share it with us, and we'll respond and like talk about it, and also bring, if you find something good, we'll definitely bring it up in a future show. So
yeah, for sure. There's so many good ways to mitigate and manage stress: yoga, exercise, deep breathing, etc. Okay, cool. Speaking of which, so sleep. How did you sleep last night, Magnus? How did you sleep last night?
I slept really, really good. So another backstory here. Yesterday, I think I ate something that was not good because I got a little bit of a stomach cramp. I started to get a little bit of a headache, things like that. Like my shoulders were tensing up and things like that. So I really needed to get a good night's of sleep, and I did. I slept really, really good. I passed out and basically woke up when the sun started to like go basically creep into our bedroom. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, me too. I got a great night's sleep last night. I usually get a very good night's sleep, but I don't know about you, but I took for granted how important a good bed is up until recently. Like I was sleeping on crap I'm 48. I was sleeping on crap till I was 46. Like I would be like, bed schmed, whatever. But I'm like, bro, especially I guess when you're a kid, you can sleep on rocks, But now I'm getting older. I'm like, oh damn, like I'm a cheap bastard, and I was like, I don't want to spend money on a bed. So I had to drop some serious coin on the bed I have now, and it's an okay bed, but I'm like, oh no, like I'm starting to feel the bed. It's not even like a year old, and I'm like, damn, what do I have to spend on a bed? Like, so now I'm like, geez, I hope I don't have to buy another bed because I'm going to really spend like, I guess, absurd amount of money now if I have to, because sleep is so important, and the quality of sleep we get, so I think we're all worried about catching this bug and that bug and, take your pills and this and that. But, sleep is the foundation of our immune system. And if you're not on a good mattress, if you're not getting a good night's sleep, don't be like me. Don't be a cheap F like me. Spend the money, because I'm regretting I tried to get away on the cheap for years. I should have just spent the money up front, and I wouldn't have had I'm on my third bed in like 3 years, and it's just, anyways. But I learned the hard way.
Try once.
Man.
No, I mean, I think that the bed is something that most people should spend a good amount of money on. And the same thing, like their bedroom as a whole, like actually making it into your bat cave, like dark, cool. If you need background noise, have some white noise. All those things you like you're getting as comfortable as possible, because recovery, that's like sleep is like one of the most important things for recovery and our health as a whole. So I'm lucky. I basically had good mattresses and beds throughout my whole life. So I'm spoiled that way.
Right.
Granted, I went to Army Ranger School and was sleeping under trees and on rocks and shit like that. But
when you're a youngster, you can do that.
Yeah. Then same thing that you said, like young and dumb, you don't really like, it doesn't really register. But with age, you really should upgrade. And remember that a mattress and a bed, there's it has a timeline before it's time to change it, right?
Right.
A trick that I usually tell a lot of people is like sometimes you can just like get like the extra like surface mattress, like
Right.
like
Put
the
it on
bed
top.
mattress.
Yeah.
That you can change out quite often and keep your real like thick mattresses alive longer. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I think we take for granted. Again, I used to think, sleep is just sleep, but it sleep empowers your immune system. It resets your immune system. It
yeah.
makes you a happier person mentally, physically speaking too. I mean, it's not just sleep to sleep.
Excuse me.
It's an immune booster. If you care about your health, immunity is all the rage nowadays. Sleep is the foundation. 8 hours, quality, make it happen. Your life depends on it. I mean, people who sleep better have less diseases, less mental disorders. I mean, it's not a silver bullet, but pretty damn close. Sleep is that powerful.
Yeah, I mean it's not just that you're gonna become more efficient, like you have more energy, you're better to make decisions, all those things because you're well rested, both
Yeah.
mentally and physically.
Right.
So and that's why it's important to get in bed like early, not like laying in bed and watching TV for 3 hours.
Right. That's
And
not good.
no, I basically suggest people not having a TV in their bedroom, like
Yep. Put the phone
and
away.
yeah, watch TV in your living room or wherever it's at, and then when it's time to go sleep, go to your bedroom and sleep in your bedroom.
Right.
So
Yeah, sleep. Yeah, absolutely. So, and like I said, the quality of the bed, the pillow, the sheeting, the temperature, sleep is as important as exercise and nutrition. So, and you're going to be sleep.
it's improved your life quality. It's not just about quantity of life that you have a long life. Like when we're living, we want to be like living as good as possible too.
Yeah.
So that's why like getting a good bed and bedroom is good. Again, like talking about our dogs, they're usually really, really smart of finding the best spot to sleep in where they feel most comfortable, whatever. If it's too hot, they usually go to a cool spot on the floor. If it's too cold, they go to the sun and lie in the sun and warm up. And they find their softest pillows and whatnot. It could be like 5 pillows on top of one another. Yes, they want to go up on the 5th pillow and sleep there because that's where they can look out at everything and feel comfortable.
And bro, a third of our life almost is spent asleep. So that's how important a good mattress is. Don't cheap out on it, dude.
Yeah.
Like yours truly. I cheaped out on mattresses. Now I'm like, all right, I just spent a nice coin on this last one, and I'm gonna, if this craps out of me for some reason, because it's already starting to show wear after a year, I don't know. I'm gonna buy the mother of all like gold-plated bed if I have to. Like I gotta, because sleep's important, man. It's anyway. So okay, now speaking of, and tied into that, health. Epigenetics. We might have touched on this before. This is, I know, kind of in your wheel as a scientist. We hear people always say, "Oh, genetics." People like to hide behind genetics too. It's like, "Oh, I would get in shape and I would eat right and I would," but genetics, like that's a reason to crap out and not try. So I was like, but what about epigenetics, where you can thwart and you can change your genetics? I know some people don't want to hear that because it's like, oh, darn it, I don't have an excuse to do nothing. So it's like, epigenetics, we can control to a great extent what our genetics do and don't do, turning them on, turning them off. Okay, so what is epigenetics, scientist Magnus?
So epigenetics, there's a difference. So when we're talking about, we're still looking at genes and the gene sequence, right? A mutation is when the gene sequence gets changed. So, and that's usually for most cases a bad thing. When we burn our skin, that could cause a mutation.
That's a form of epigenetics.
Yeah. So yeah, but it also, like, it could trigger that actually the genes are getting changed. So that's a mutation, and that's really, really bad. Epigenetics, that does not change the gene by itself. Like you still gonna have the gene sequence. Like so all the 4 different parts of DNA, they're gonna stay the same. But depending on our lifestyle and exposure to certain things, there will be things that get added to this DNA chain. that could change it. So you could see it basically as a light switch in certain cases, an on and off switch, or that it increases certain things and decreases other. So of course we can do, if we're having a good lifestyle, we can increase the things that we need more of that are good things. If we're having a poor lifestyle, it's usually the opposite.
Right.
You things happen. So that's kind of the difference on how to see like a mutation in epigenetics when we're talking about genes. How it changes.
I guess it would be analogous to like our genetic code is the highway or the road. Epigenetics is how we take care of that road. We can put holes in the road, we can pave the road, we can sweep the road, we can dirty the road up. So the genetics are the road that doesn't change. But the epi part of it, the epigenetics, is how we treat the road, how we take care of the road, or not, or do or not. So yeah, I thought it was interesting because again, I hear so many people use genetics as a kind of a ploy not to take care of themselves. Like, hey, I got a friend of mine. He's like, this guy's a train wreck, okay? And I love him to death, but he's always like, well, it's genetics that I got all these heart problems and stuff. And I'm saying to myself, bro, have you seen what you're eating lately? Like, it's not my position to say anything, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, he's talking about genetics like it's a fait accompli, but he doesn't want to talk about epigenetics, that his drinking and smoking and the pasta and the bread and the chips and the sitting and the candy and the sweet treats, like that has nothing to do with anything. It's like epigenetics. You're not helping.
Just that we can take identical twins, right? They're basically they have the exact same gene pool, like they have the exact same genes, right? But they could be very different down the road depending on their surroundings, the people they surround themselves. Are they feeling safe? Are they feeling threatened? What they're eating, where they live in the world. So saying that is just the genes that is in control of everything, I think that is just a lame excuse of not 100%. Trying, like giving up, just like you mentioned. So again, like there are going to be certain like gene defects that causes diseases and major problems too. Like, but eating poorly and not moving and things like that, of course, you're probably gonna end up like being overweight and starting to see like issues when you might have pre-diabetic or actually developing diabetes too and things like that. So yeah, you have to try a little bit harder. You're not convincing me and saying it's just the genes. Well, if you're saying that it's just always the genes, let's go take a gene test and actually see if you have certain mutations on your genes that are affecting you more than like a normal person. So poor way of trying to use like your body and science for you to have a like not taking care of yourself. So I'm not buying it.
Right. And don't get me wrong, obviously you could have a genetic problem where you're born with no legs. Duh, I get that, like, or you have an aortic valve problem or what, 100%. But
of course,
right, but more often than not, it's like wink wink, I understand you, right? You got this problem with again, you got heart disease, and that's not good. But it's but you're not helping things. You're not helping things with the beer and the candy and the cookies and the pasta and the it's
the same thing. Like we're talking about cause and effect. I think that is also important. Like people understand like certain things, will cause the problem. Other things like that you're doing will just affect the situation you're in. So again, your surrounding and the people that you surround yourself with has a huge impact on who you are as an individual and how your body works for you. So that's why we always we've been talking about this before. Like, surround yourself with the people that you like, the people that are basically pushing you to become better and all those things, and not having the energy vampires in your life. I mean, we're talking about this before. It is important. It is important what we eat. It is important that we sleep. It is like everything adds up in some way or form.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Jinx. We both said at the same time. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just think that it's like it comes down to this. Whatever you're saying, you still have to take responsibility for your life. If you want to like not taking care of certain things, you will pay the price, and it should not come as a surprise. Like are you going to get sicker if you're not taking care of your health and immune system? Most likely. Even if you have the greatest genetics in the world, yeah, you might fight it off, but sooner or later that will weight down. Like your lifestyle will weight that down. You're not getting out of it. You hear this a lot. When I was young, I used to eat whatever. Yeah, because your metabolism went better, and you only did it for maybe that you started out. Yeah, you've done it for 3 years, and then but 3 years is different from 30 years. Like,
right.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's like you can't look back at your previous self. I mean, you're here now, and what you're doing right now is gonna affect what you're gonna be like in the future. You can learn from your history, but you still have to act and make the choices at this point in time.
Yeah, and by the way, before I forget, so I showed this to you. So I'm reading this book, Immune, by scientist Philip Detmer, New York Times bestseller. And so, I was saying to you off camera, like, hey, I don't know anything. I'm a mobile DJ from New Jersey, but I don't want to be one of these gym bros that thinks they know something, or Jim Janes. And it's up to us to become as knowledgeable as the best we can about. And this book, Immune, talks about the human body, learning about the muscle system, the skeletal system, the immune system, and it makes things, it demystifies a lot of things, and things aren't as scary, because when you watch TV and someone with a fancy suit on thinks they have their opinion, but when you actually read and get educated, it's like, oh, okay, this situation is not so scary, because I understand how DNA, RNA, mRNA works and all that stuff. Now I get it. Versus, again, the fancy man or woman on television spoon feeding me. I'm reading it myself, and again, I'm not the sharpest knife in the shed. But what I was going to say is that even mental health, there's a gut, a gut mind, gut brain connection. When we're eating right, surrounding ourselves with positive people, positive things, you can manage a lot of mental health issues, because it's a direct link. I'm not making this up. Go look on the CDC, NIH, WHO, whatever medical site you want to look on. What our good gut bacteria affects our mood, our brain, our mind, and popping those pills, they solve one problem, but you get 4 new problems. So it's a weird type of, I'm not saying, again, always listen to your doctor, follow your healthcare professional. We're not giving medical advice. We're just talking, but I need a lawyer like right here. But anyways, yeah, man. So, and again, no one's perfect. I'm trying, you're trying, we're all trying to better ourselves. You think I just wake up beautiful like this? Come on, this is a work in progress, man. But yeah. So anyways, anything else, Magnus, you wanted to add? Epigenetics, which I think is an amazing, people look it up, Google it. Epigenetics. It's amazing, because we have a lot more power than we think we have.
Yeah, no, I think you kind of like hit the head on the nail there. Like you need to be control of your life and trying to make the best of it. And I'm always saying this, like life quality is of great importance. You don't want to get old and not be able to do anything and be bedridden and things like that. You wanna end up like having the freedom to move around and do things, and that's like starts by taking care of yourself as early as possible.
Right. And I say eating right is not about taking away from you and making you sad. Eating right and living right is about you being even more happy. Do you want to be more happy? You want to be more happy? Well, then put quality fuel in the Ferrari. Stop putting cheap gas in the Ferrari. No, easy with the junk food and the beer and the soda and the juicy drinks and the cake and the cookies and the sitting and all that stuff. I mean, and the pasta and the bread and the pasta and the bread. Again, like, yeah. I mean, you're going to be happier. Who doesn't want to be happier?
Everything can fit in. It's a balance. Again, it's like a balance. But yeah,
right. I eat junk food. I eat junk food too, by the way. I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah,
but
no, it's become kind of boring to hear it all the time. But like you need to find your balance and what works for you and what's good for you long term and short term too. So I think that like, again, like having an understanding on where you're at in life and what you're trying to accomplish, and then trying to break things down into smaller segments and goals and things like that, and work on it. Don't look too far ahead, like, because then it becomes too much. We can't move that far. Just start somewhere and and move progressively forward. And that's the same thing dealing with harsh times, whatever. Like, we can get through it most of the times, and also like just taking one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Just break it down and slowly process it and move forward.
I'm going through it too. We're all going through life, right? We're all human, and we're all flawed, and we're all trying our best. And this is why I like to have these conversations with you and others. And we're all, hopefully we can all learn. I want to learn from you, Magnus. I want to learn from the viewers. I hope the viewers can glean some information from us. Hey, don't buy a cheap bed. Buy a good bed. So
I want to say one thing though. Then this is more kind of fun thing. I feel so underdressed today when Anthony's showing up.
How to do this? Because I don't like my haircut.
I don't care. Like you just like you bring in the swag. I'm like, well, dude, I have okay, pretty good. I have a Reservoir Dog, like the movie, the T-shirt on. So like I have Mr. Yellow, Pink, White, orange, and brown, or whatever. It's like it's just fun. But anyway, like good talk. It was fun. Like I think that it was like an important episode today. So thanks for bringing up good questions today.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing, Magnus, your tips and stuff too. And but yeah, folks, so we'll see you guys next week. We got a bunch of great shows on tap also. So enjoy the rest of the week, everybody. Be safe out there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like. No, don't hit the like. Hit the subscribe and the notification button. Those are the 2 buttons. Okay. Anyways, thanks, everybody. Thank you, Magnus. Have a good day, everyone. Signing off. 3, 2, 1. I can say it in Italian. 1, 2, 3.